G'day humans, Chris Stead here. This is the Sony Bravia TV and Home Theatre Bar launch in Sydney, Australia, where Daniel Kennedy, who you can see on screen there, took us through the entire range. Now in this video, I'm going to pull out and highlight the comparisons that he did between the Theatre Bar 8, the Theatre Bar 9 and the Theatre Quad, which are the three new entries into the soundbar range for Sony in 2024. He also compared it to the last generation as well, to give you a good insight into what they all offer. Now, as we go through this video, you're going to see him reference some demonstrations. I've cut the demonstrations out of this particular video because Sony is super hardcore when it comes to copyright infringements on YouTube. So I will put those in a separate video, which you can see on the channel, just for those who want to check them out. Obviously, it's probably not going to come through that great because it was recorded on a camera and it's not the in-person experience that you'll be hearing because it's through a camera. But it will give you an idea anyway, and I wanted to put it live just so you can see for yourself. So anyway, let's dive in and hear what Daniel's got to say about the range in 2024, and this will give you a great breakdown and understanding of what they're trying to do, what's on offer, and what you're going to get as you mix and match between the different accessories that they have to go with the different theatre bars. All right, let's jump in.
And the Bravia Theater Bar 8, this replaces our A5000 from last year. So 11 speaker units versus the 9 from last year. It has that advanced separation, so you get really good surround sound out of that, and a 30% decrease in size, which is nice to see, and the acoustic center sync 2.0. An update is coming to give us the voice zoom 3.0 from the TV as well. So that voice zoom feature that we saw here, that will come across to the Bravia Theater Bar 8, 9 and Quad. Right, so voice zoom uses our XR processor and a bit of wizardry. So this is pretty much the only time that you'll hear me say AI this presentation. But we have an AI machine learning algorithm in there which detects just the voice. And what it does is it'll allow you to amp up the voice or decrease the voice as you see fit. So I've got a clip on our Bravia 8, and we'll start with at minimum. So typical household, you're watching football.
When he spoke to the media, he said that he's still learning about the game, but he's always felt that it's better to be kinder with players, never a coach who wields the big stick and gets a response. Doesn't matter where he's been.
Well, dealing with that fella is one of the big challenges for Dortmund. Jude Bellingham, what season he's had, what season he's not had.
This is Jude, just overrunning the ball.
Yeah, it took his time to get going this season. No Benzema, with whom he had a great relationship, but second half of the campaign he's been absolutely electric.
So it's quite unique in that you can turn just the volume of the voice up and down. And that works with any input that goes in the TV. So be it HDMI, you're watching free-to-air, you're watching Netflix, you're watching Stan Sports, which is what we're watching. And there's a few use cases here, because generally you can only turn it up, but we allow customers to turn it down as well. So if you're watching the cricket and you want the commentary on the radio and really you don't want to hear the commentary on the TV that much, you can just turn it down on the TV and then have your radio playing in the background. But yeah, it's one of the best features for hard of hearing customers, and just people that they want to hear more of the voice. They're not that invested in what's happening in the background, they just want to hear the voice. For those customers, this allows them to do that. So just an overview of the actual unit itself. So you can see here, we have those 3 front tweeters, 4 powerful woofers, the Dolby Atmos upward firing speakers as well, and we've got 2 new side firing speakers, so they blast sound around the room to give you basically a 3D bubble of sound.
So that's a 5.1.2.
Well, here's the thing. So the way that we're utilizing these with our 360 spatial sound technology is we are firing off bits of sound and reflecting it everywhere, and it's constantly and continuously calibrating to that. So we don't typically call it a 7.1 or a 5.1 or whatever. We're actually utilizing all the speakers to pretty much get you into a bubble of sound. Yeah. Actually, we've got time. So, do you want to do the pink demo?
Yeah, sure. When you say a bubble, are we talking a 3 metre bubble, a 2 metre bubble? What's the...
It calibrates. So there's an app on your device, so you can either use iPhone or Android, and it calibrates to where you sit in the room. So
Right.
you tell the app, hey, calibrate now, and it'll do a full sound test. It'll bounce sound off everywhere and get you a calibration for the room.
Right. Now you're using all these rear speakers, they're all optionals?
Yeah, so they're all optional. We've got, I'll go through the full optionality because there's a huge amount of options that you can build. So we'll show you 360 reality audio. So some streaming services are now supporting this. So if you like music and you want this in your home, you can listen to, you'll have this type of quality using our soundbar. Yeah, so that's the 360 spatial sound. There's a lot of sound pressure that comes from the Bar 8. But so that's the Bar 8. Yeah, that's coming up in July.
I think they're both coming out in July.
Yeah, they're both in July. But now we're going to focus on the Bravia Theater Bar 9, which is a little bit of a step up. It's 13 versus 11 speaker units, and that actually makes a big difference, as we're about to hear. 360 spatial sound with the bar only. So you don't need the rears, but we do have the rears here today. And then again, blast sound all around, bounces off different parts of the room. 36% reduction in size. Again, that acoustic center sync 2.0. So we're utilizing all the TV speakers and subs as well in the system. Again, we're going to play some content from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So, that's Bravia Theater Bar 9. So you do have that sound positioning and side firing there, and 4 passive radiators, so you get a nice amount of bass within the bar as well. This is paired up with our new, well, not new, but bigger subs. So the Sub 5, that blasts 360 sound around the room, and the rear 5s as well. So with this, just with the Bar 8 and 9, you've got that stylish new design, so fabric all the way through. So it's not a fingerprint magnet like last year's one, so it's a slight improvement there. And you have these rubberized feet that come in the box, along with the wall mounting accessories as well, so you can utilize it however you want. This, of course, fits in front of any of our TVs really well, just using that narrow stand position. Or if you have a big enough TV, a 75 or 85 inch, it'll fit in between the legs without using those rubberized feet. What we've actually done here is we've enabled 4 stand positions for all of our TVs from 7, 8 and 9. So the stand positions I'm going to show you, yeah, they're the same stand positions that you'll be able to get for all of the TVs 7, 8 and 9 in all the screen sizes as well. So essentially you've got an outside stand position or an inside stand position. And the really cool thing about the inside stand position is that for, let's say your TV bench was theoretically this wide, you could fit an 85-inch TV. So there's no real situation where a customer says, oh, 85-inch TV, we're going to have to upgrade the TV cabinet. So that's a really versatile feature there. And then you've got the replicated stand positions, but raised up for customers that want to put a soundbar underneath. Now, with the Bravia Bar 8 and 9, they come with these rubberized feet. So you'll see the feet down here. They screw into the base of the TV. So if you want, you put those on and it sits above that stand. So it's not sort of vibrating on the stand, it's actually sitting above that. If you don't want to use that and your soundbar or TV is big enough not to use that narrow position, you can have it without the feet as well. And they're just like the standard rubberized, the smaller standard rubberized feet on there. So super versatile, super easy, and it's just a few screws and it just sort of, you just pull them out and change them. So that's all the TVs 7, 8 and 9, all screen size as well. You have simplified connectivity and like a very easy 10-key remote, which generally won't need to use because we've got a quick setting in here. So you'll be able to see that we've got, where are the little rears? Sound field, effects, your bass level, rear level, you can change all of that and hear the changes as you make them within that menu. So you don't need to go out into a different HDMI sub-menu for that.
And you've got it center out.
Yes,
you don't need that with the new TVs?
So this has the center. So that cable there plugs in, and that plugs into the TV. That feeds all the information needed to utilize this within the system. So that's our ACS 2.0. So you use the subs, the rears, the frame tweeters, and that vertical height, all within that sound system.
So you just need the 3.5 cable?
Correct. That's in the box. It's pretty long as well. So you'll be able to wall mount it and get it all the way around.
You got two 2.1s in here, in the TV, two 2.1 HDMIs.
Oh yes. Yeah.
But is one of those the EARC?
Correct. But
So-
you also have a pass-through here. So both of these have a full 48 gigabyte a second pass-through.
Oh, right, because that just showed one HDMI in. Is there more than one HDMI in?
So
On the soundbar, sorry.
we'll go back. Yeah, so it's just one. So for example, here, that would go out to the TV, and then you have a HDMI in, and that's a full HDMI 2.1. So if you had, let's say you're a baller, right? And you've got the next gen Microsoft gaming console and our PlayStation 5. You could get that into here, and then it'll go out. That's one HDMI 2.1 port. And then your PlayStation 5 could go into the second.
So it's a full 48 gigabits?
Yeah, full 48. So you can have,
With VRR and they'll
yeah, so 4K 120, auto latency mode, variable refresh rate, all of that, as specified in HDMI 2.1, you'll have the full bandwidth, full 48 gig.
So you got one console coming back through the EARC and one going through pass-through.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sorry, one through pass through EARC, and then your second will go direct into the
TV.
ports. So all of our TVs, 7, 8, and 9, the HDMI 3 and 4 is your full HDMI 2.1 ports. HDMI 3 is always our EARC, so you would use that to regain your second.
So the others are up to HDMI 2.0?
Yes, yeah. So that you'll get
18 gigabits.
18, yeah, for those, yeah. So that's fine for pretty much anything, like Blu-ray players and the like. So moving along to the Quad. So the Quad is sort of in between everywhere in the room. You'll have to creak your head across to see this next demo. The Quad is super powerful. So whereas a lot of these, they sort of rely on bouncing around the room to create that 3D bubble, the Quad is in the right place to basically envelop you in a 3D bubble, regardless of the room size or dimensions. So there's a new Wi-Fi connection with these, so you can have them really quite far apart, depending on how big your cinema room is. And again, it works with all of our soundbar sub accessories. We've got it hooked up to our larger sub, which is this one. So we're going to do a demonstration for you on these. It replaces our A9, which is our other high-end cinema system, and this is now the Bravia Theater Quad. So there's a few improvements. Instead of 12 speaker units, we go up to 16. And we have 2.5 times the strength for the Wi-Fi I was just talking about there. I'll give you a look at what the actual unit looks like inside. So you'll see a full range, so low end, mid-range and high-range tweeters for voice, Dolby Atmos upward firing sound, and a bass reflex chamber for the entire unit. So it's pumping out a decent amount of bass per unit as well. So they all need to be powered. They can be wall mounted, or they come with their own little stands as well. So quite versatile units there.
Do they work with the S Center?
Sorry?
Do they work with the S Center?
Yes, this is actually hooked up to the S Center. So you'll get the center channel forward firing with the TV, and you'll also get everything else. So you'll get the 2 subs on there, you'll get the sub there, you'll get all 4 around you, and it sounds awesome. So enjoy this demonstration from, this is actually playing on stand, so you'll see that we're taking that, basically upscale anything into 3D sound, not just our own Sony Pictures service. It really feels like you're inside the car, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just amazing.
When are you going to put that glass on your TVs?
I wish it. Really glass 5. So that, that was awesome. I love that demo. I think it's great because it shows the real separation. You feel like you're in the car and you can see the power of the Bravia Quad and what it's capable of. So if you want the best of the best, and you've got a cinema room that can house these units, amazing. It's the best that you can really get.
The unique advantage is to be able to use the S-Center. How would these be without the S-Center?
I mean, we can unplug it if you want, but you do lose some of that sound from screen reality.
4.
Sorry?
It would revert back to a 4.1.4.
Pretty much, yeah. So it would basically power both of those at the same sound pressure to make it feel like it's coming from the center channel.
Yeah.
But having a Sony TV that's capable of really good sound, which the Bravia 8 and the Bravia 9 are, they just pair really, really nicely.
So our recommendation to our readers would be buy the TV, buy the soundbar.
Correct, yeah. Because the picture quality is only one side of the coin. You really need the holistic experience, as you guys just heard with the sound. It makes such a big difference to the overall viewing experience. Yeah. So just to talk about some of our accessories here, so we've got the sound accessory subwoofer 3, so that's what that stands for. Let's just call it sub 3 essentially. 200 watts of sound pressure, and with this unit, 160mm driver, bass reflex, and they're all wireless. So all of our accessories just need power. They don't need to be sort of wired to the main unit. They connect wirelessly to those units. So just have a look at the SA-SW3, so the sound accessory subwoofer 5. You get additional 100 watts in terms of power, but this is a bigger driver and it has a passive radiator down the bottom. So this one's a bit more versatile because you can just put it anywhere in the room that you have space. It doesn't need to be forward firing. It has that 360 sound. So if you want to put it next to the couch and really get a good effect, that's going to allow you to do that. Next up is the first of the accessories that you heard on the Bravia Theater Bar 8, which is the rear 3s. So these come with 100 watts total. As you heard, it makes a huge difference to your overall viewing experience.
They're forward firing?
Forward firing, but they're wide woofers on there. So 3 speakers on there, low, mid, and high. And then last but not least, you've got the RS5s. So Tim's going to unplug one of these and show you guys. But these are really cool. So they've got a dual sub and a tweeter and an upward firing speaker as well.
And the battery operated?
Yes, so you can have them either permanently plugged in or you can use them on the battery, and the battery life is 10 hours as well. So you get quite a bit of time, as you can see there. And the good news is if you forget to charge, you can actually do a quick 10-minute charge and get 90 minutes out, which is sort of average length of a movie time. So really versatile rear speakers these are.
So they just wirelessly connect to any of our A line of bars. And yeah, you can mix and match. So for the quad that you guys just heard, you've got 2 options, which is either of the subs, and then you can build your own system with any of our accessories. So it's a huge amount. So for example, if you're in an apartment and you don't want a sub, and you're just going to rely on the 4 woofers on the actual soundbar, that's fine. You can just pair some rears. So you pair either the 3s or the 5s. If you want the full experience, let's say you want the bass, you go full bass, the best system as possible, but you can mix and match any of the accessories together. So depending on what the customer needs, you can do that. Oh, there you go.